Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at some Dior favorites for this look here today. So you're going to get ready with me while we use some of my favorite products from Dior as well as some of the new releases. I'm also going to give these blushes another shot. So take a look and let me know your thoughts. In addition, we also are going to take a look at a new to me jewelry brand called Idyl, which I absolutely love. I'm so happy with these. So I'll walk you through those and why I love them so much, because they're just really different from other brands in my opinion. So definitely some major pluses here. So please share your thoughts down below in the comments section and either grab your makeup and let's get ready together, or join me as I get ready and share with you why these are some of my favorite products. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. And we're starting off with the face primer. So this is the Dior Forever Skin Veil Primer, and unfortunately it is discontinued. I bought backups of it before, so this is my last backup, but I absolutely love this for a moisturizing primer. This is, in my opinion, the best. So one of the great things, this one is slightly tinted, which helps a little bit. And then it's moisturizing, but it's not greasy. And it really just kind of helps everything. I mean, it works the way a primer is supposed to, but it still adds moisture to my skin. So I'm gonna bring you in closer and we'll put this on. So you really only need to put the face primer, in strategic locations. You don't have to put it everywhere. I'm actually gonna skip my nose because just put a little dusting on there, but I'm putting the majority of it on my cheeks because that's where I want more of the moisture. So this is the primer, and I love how it's moisturizing. It adds a little bit of blur, and I just think is a fantastic primer. So I hope they bring this back and they don't mess up the reformulation, but I would love to see this come back from Dior. Now, another product that Dior has recently come out with is this. This is the Star Filter, and you can use this as a primer. I like to use it just as a little extra luminosity on my skin underneath my foundation. It does come in a variety of shades. You could even wear this on its own. I have shade 0, and you can see you've got a little bit of a pearly effect with this. You can use a brush or your fingers. Since I'm putting my foundation on top of this, I don't mind going in a little bit more heavily. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my fingers. But if I want it to be a little bit more delicate and just use as a highlighter, I personally would go in with a brush. And this is also great like up here on the brow bone and so forth. So we'll just add a little bit up here as well. You can see though, it adds a gorgeous luminosity. We have more of this champagne sheen to my skin, and because it is pigmented, you do get a little bit of a foundation base. So if you're into a glowy look for all over, you could wear this just on its own. Now, I also wanted to take the new Dior Skin Contour. So this is the new contour stick. We do have matte black packaging here. I have shade 1 light, and we're just gonna add a little bit here. And I'm going to use my fingers again because I'm going to keep this a little bit more heavily since I'm going in with the foundation. And I didn't pick up the Dior Forever Skin Stick Foundation. Originally, Dior Forever Skin Perfect foundation stick when it first launched. I wasn't really sure what shade I would be and so forth. Oh, you can see I made a bit of a mess. But I did end up picking it up, and I've been testing it out, and I wanted to share it because it is such a great foundation stick. So you can see here that the packaging for the contour is matte black. We even have a matte black belt here, whereas we have the glossy black with the silver belt for the foundation stick. These are more of an ovoid shape, which I personally love. I ended up picking up 0N. Now, sometimes I go in with this just on my fingers. It gives you more coverage. You can really kind of build that up, but we're gonna go in a little bit lighter. So I'm actually gonna put a bunch on my hand here, and we're gonna take a stiff brush. Now, before we go in all over the face, I'm just taking my finger and I'm dabbing a little bit under my eyes as concealer. Look at the difference. Works great as a concealer. So I'm going to take the Rephr 31 brush, and I'm just going to get some from my hand here and go ahead and put that on the skin so we get a little bit of a lighter layer. And look how this covers. You have a bit of a, it's more of a satin finish with the foundation, and you can definitely build up your coverage. Look, I have more of a light coverage here, but we can build this up a little bit more. You can see that the contour stick there really added some dimension to my skin, but it's imperceptible under the foundation. So I'm really enjoying this. So as for performance for the Dior foundation, so if you pile this on and you have a little bit of a thicker layer, you know, you can definitely build up coverage, but you also have a little bit of a dewier finish to it. It will set down. It lasts on me all day. I don't have any issues with fading or anything. It's not transfer proof. So, you know, it is definitely something that if you go and wipe it away with a napkin or something, it's not transfer proof. So that will come off. But I think, you know, it's a really nice formula. And my favorite stick foundation has been the Westman Atelier for years. And this is definitely kind of, it's up there. I'm not sure if it might have, I don't know. They're pretty close for me. So I think if you go in with too heavy of a layer, you do have to be careful that it doesn't look creamy on your skin. But I think when you go in just a little lightly and you build it even in thin layers, you get this really nice satin finish. Again, we have a bit of extra sheen from the star filter. We have a little bit more dimension from the contour stick. And I just think it is a really beautiful foundation. I mean, look at how this performs on my skin. It's almost like I have a filter on. And yeah, I have to say I'm really loving it. Yet it's still dewy. It makes my skin feel moisturized. So it's not going to dry down to like a totally dry touch. You're always going to have a little bit of dewiness. And the more product you put on there, the dewier it will feel. So you can see I still have plenty of foundation left on my hand. You really don't need a lot. This goes far. So here's the foundation from a distance, and I really like it. I think it is such a beautiful finish. Definitely worth trying. If you like stick foundations, if you travel a lot, this is such a great option. And it's great for a minimalist, or even if you just want like a perfected complexion. I think it looks pretty darn good. Now for blush, I really wanted to give this another shot. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna take like a stiff buffing brush and work with the purple to start off with as our base. So I'm taking the Chantecaille F02. Now this brush you can see it's a short buffing brush. Look at this motion here. Because our bristles are staying pretty compact, we're going to be able to get a lot of product, put it precisely where we want it without like getting out of the lines per se, and it's strong enough to pick up and place the powder pretty easily. So the powder comes up easily from the Dior palette. My problem with this before was just that you know, it was so light, hard to see, and I'm actually pouncing this on my skin, but we can go in and buff it as well. But right now I'm putting this on more as a base, and we're going to add a little bit of pink to this too, but it does actually give a really nice sheen. So, you know, if you like a very light, more of a high, this is essentially the highlighter shade in this palette. If you like something light and soft like this, I think this could actually be a good option. I kind of amend my previous thoughts on that a little bit. So this is the purple, and then I want to go into 257. This is Dior Riviera, just in this blush shade. I'm going to use this same brush, but I'm tapping off any excess. I'm just gonna pat on a little bit of this, more so on the apples, just to have it kind of fade in. And this is really more of a soft coral. And even though it's a coral, you know, we've got a nice balance of pink in here. It's not too warm of a coral. So I think it still pairs nicely with the lavender here. I'll just add a tiny bit more here. So these are the cheeks up close. Let me know what you guys think of these. Again, these are going to be light in general. If you're looking for something more pigmented, this shade here, the the Dior Riviera, is going to be a bit more pigmented overall than the Dior Amour. But if you're going for light looks, these both work well. So here's the blush. And actually, I was going to add a highlighter, but I don't think we need it. With the star filter and the glow from the purple, we really don't need it. But if I were to go in with one, it would have been, I personally really love the Dior Forever Glow Maximizers. They're technically limited edition, but they're still around. And I really love these. So it's just, you know, a nice liquid with a wand. I like to dab a little bit on the back of my hand and then dab a finger in it to just get a tiny bit. And this white one here, Pearly, it's probably my most used, but I also really like the light pink and the nude. So those are the three that I have. And I have to say, I still have been using these pretty regularly since they launched. I'm really happy with them as a product. Now for eyes, I wanted to go in with a couple of singles because I feel like they're underrated. The Dior eyeshadow singles are actually really excellent. So right here, this is going to be our Beige Mizza 658. And then here we have 755 Rose Tool. These are both metallic shadows, which is my favorite finish from Dior. So we're going to add both of these to the eyes. Taking the Bobo Chikuhodo S00 into the Beige Mizza, and I'm just going to go ahead and add this to the outer half. And I'm not adding a specific crease color right now. We'll go in and do that afterwards, but just the outer half of the eye with the Beige Mizza. And I just think this is such a beautiful, it's a warm taupe. Now, if you've had the Beige Mizza or, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank right now. What was it called originally? The, I think of that, Cosmopolite. So that was Dior Mizza or Beige Mizza a few iterations ago, and I have to say I really loved that one. It was slightly cooler. So same brush, I wiped it off, and I'm going in with the Rose Tool. This is such a beautiful like rose gold shade, and because it does have some warmth here, I think it pairs very nicely with the Beige Mizza. So I'm overlapping them a little bit so we have a bit of sheen from both of them kind of mixing in the middle. So you can see that these Dior singles, the shadows are creamy and easy to use. And I feel like with the quints, sometimes they're hit or miss. This reminds me more of the older formula of the Dior quints, which was my personal favorite. So I'm loving the singles. I'm going to take the Sonia G Pencil one in both of the shades and just kind of go under the eye with this. So the Beige Mizza on the outer half, and again the Rose Tool on the inner portion. So I'm not going all the way to the inner corner. I do want to leave that for a little brightening. So I'm just going basically up to where the lashes stop. And then I'm going back into the blush, the Dior Riviera, but this time I'm using the golden highlighter shade. And I'm going to use this for the inner corner here. Just add a little bit of brightness, and I'm going to go and meet the Rose Tool. Now I'm going in with this matte single in Cashmere. This is 443. This is the Refer 15 Mini. I'm not using much of this at all. I'm just going to get a tiny bit. And I'm just going to kind of blend this in with the shadow that's already in the crease, just to add a little bit more depth here. And I'm using kind of a smaller crease brush because I don't want to blow it up high. So here's the difference. You can see it definitely adds a little bit more depth to my eye socket there. And I'm just taking a clean brush. This is the Blender Pro from Sonia G. And I'm not using any shadow, but I'm going to take any little kind of dust that's kind of above the crease line here and just kind of soften that. Next, we're going in with the liner in Matte Taupe. So this is going to be number 771. And you can see it's not really taupe. It is going to be more purple. So I'm not really sure why they call this one matte taupe, but I love this liner. The newly reformulated Dior liners are very nice. So I'm just going close to the lash line, just adding a little bit, little tiny strokes. And I'm not going up this way just because my eyes are so sensitive that really, I usually end up getting some irritation there. So just keeping it really close to the lash line. You can see it still makes a difference here. So I'm gonna add some mascara and do my brows, and I'll be right back. All right, so those are the eyes all done. I added the Queen Musia mascara. This is a fantastic volumizing mascara. I really love this if you want like va va voom lashes. This is it. It's heavy, by the way, so I kind of like that too. And then I used the Byredo brow pencil in Sand, which is one of my go-tos. So I thought about it, and I really wanted to showcase another Dior lipstick because they have some really great lipstick formulations. I really like the new ones that have come out. I wanted to showcase some different colors, but I have to go back to one of my all-time favorites that I know I've shared and featured on my channel so many times, but it's just so good. This is the Dior Rouge Forever formula. So this is the matte one that's a little bit more long lasting, and this is shade 670 Rose Blues. And I just love this one. I'm actually halfway through with this lipstick, which considering my lipstick collection, that's pretty impressive. So I have to say I love it. And I do have this in the satin formula as well, but because everything is so dewy and kind of has a sheen, I want to mix up the textures a little bit and have more of a matte lip. Now, the Dior Forever lip liners, Dior Rouge Dior Contour, I love these. However, I don't have as perfect of a shade match with those as I do with this Makeup by Mario lip pencil. So this one here is the shade Pink Peony, and we do have a brush on one end, and then here is the lip pencil. I mean, look at that. They're like identical. So I just think this is such a perfect match. We got to go with this one. So this is the final look, and I have to say, I mean, Dior is a classic brand for a reason. They make some really good products. As always, we see some hits and misses from different companies, but they do have a lot of really great products that stand the test of time. And I hope that seeing some of the ones I featured here today have either inspired you to try something you haven't tried before from Dior, or go back into your collection and try out some of the things that you already have. So we're going to go ahead and talk about all of the products we featured here today, and we're going to swatch everything. We're also going to take a second though first and talk about this jewelry. So this portion is sponsored, and I have to say I absolutely love this. I have been so excited to share this brand with you. This is Idyl, and they are actually having a Labor Day promotion right now. So this is really, this is it for a good sale on their site. This is your big sale of the year. So if you're interested in anything, definitely take a look at the website. But I want to preface this by saying this is not just another jewelry brand. There are so many good reasons to purchase from this particular brand, and I'll share those with you in just a few minutes. But first, let's switch to the unboxing so we can go ahead and see how these come presented. So I've been wanting to try the brand Idyl. I have been seeing them all over social media, and what I really love about the whole brand is the concept of multi-use jewelry. So they were kind enough to send this to me, and I wanted to show you the unboxing because it is beautifully wrapped. So you can see we've got this beautiful ribbon here, great ribbon, and let's go ahead and open it. All right, so here it is, and I cannot wait. So inside it says something special from Idyl. So we have some tissue paper here, and then we have these are like not just your regular fabric pouch, they're cushioned. So they're definitely, they feel pretty strongly cushioned. So definitely something you want to keep. This would be a great thing to travel with, you know, to make sure everything stays nice and secure. So then we have this box here, and we do have some tape on the box. It says handmade in Antwerp, and be the light, you have an eye for beauty. All right, so this is what I have here. So you can see here that we've got these beautiful earrings. I've had my eye on these for quite a while. And we do have a stud here. And then this is going to be a solitaire on a chain. What is great about these is that you can actually take these off of the base stud and put them on the necklace. Let me show you. So this is the earring here. So you can get the studs in different sizes. There are 3 different sizes here. And you can see that our, this part here, the dangly part, actually just slides on and off. So you can very easily make this into an earring or into a necklace. And I just think that is so great because, you know, we spend so much money on jewelry. It's great to be able to mix it up and wear it in different ways. So they do sell these individually, you know, just one ear or just one piece, or you can buy them as a pair. Then of course we have the stud that you can wear just on its own. And then this is the necklace here. So you can see that we do have a few other spots here. So if you want to adjust the length, make it more of like a choker length or have it a little bit longer, you can do that. And then you can easily just kind of slip the solitaire off. And then you can just slip this piece on. So then we have a necklace here utilizing the same piece from the earrings. And I just absolutely love this. I think it is stunning. So now this other bag, again, you can see it's very cushioned. And this is going to be like a satin texture. And we have a little mirror. That's nice and handy. And a scrunchie. So those are definitely much appreciated. So let's go ahead and move on to some demos and details for these. We'll talk a little bit about the products and some specifications, and I will show you some demos of me wearing these pieces. So if you missed the Labor Day sale, don't worry, you can still get 10% off with LexiJong 10. While I was showing you the unboxing, I took out the actual Billy charm here. So that way you can kind of see this up close. So we have one side that's silver. So you can get these in silver or gold, or white gold or gold. And then the other side has the diamonds. So if for some reason you're just feeling like, oh, I don't really want to show off my diamonds, let's just give a little hint. And you can flip it around. So we do have a hook here. And then these are the studs. So you can purchase the studs in different sizes. So these are the diamond studs, and this is going to be the larger size. So it does come in 3 different sizes. You have the petite, the medium, and the big. So these are the big ones, but you can choose your sizes. And when you're looking at the earring selection, you'll notice that there's either a checkbox to either include studs with, you know, the price with your order, or you already have a pair. So definitely make sure that you check the right box for that. But I love how you're able to hang things from here. So this is the Billy with it hanging from, or you could have it, you know, just on its own as I just showed you. I also mentioned that the necklace has either a shorter loop to hang it from or a longer. So this is a shorter one. Let me show you the longer one. Oh, my mistakes. That was actually the medium one. So I had it clipped on this one here. Let me show you the longest, and then I'll also show you the shortest. So this is the longest, and this is with our solitaire here. And this is the shortest. So you've got quite a few different options here. And I think that makes this very, very versatile. I personally absolutely love this. And here is the Billy as a necklace on the short chain. So you can see, again, if you lengthen it a little bit or you go on the longest chain, you can make it even more dramatic. It would look really beautiful with a nice gown and so forth. So I think the modularity of these pieces is something that really kind of sells itself. You spend so much money investing in expensive diamond jewelry, and you want to be able to use it in additional ways. So this gives you that customizability. Now let's talk a little bit about why I love these diamonds in particular. So aside from the modularity of these pieces, which I think is a huge selling point all on its own, another reason I really love these is because this is a sustainable brand. Idyl is a sustainable brand. These are not artificial diamonds, they're not fake, but they're also not mined. They are lab grown diamonds. And that's something that really appeals to me, you know. And I want to mention that every piece of Idyl jewelry also comes with a certificate. So this is an example of my certificate here. So mine were certified and hand checked by Jack. You know, we've got a lab grown diamond. It's got your color grade, your clarity, your cut. So I have color grade DG, clarity grade VS, cut excellent. We've got traceable 14 karat solid gold, and they're handmade in Antwerp, Belgium. So these are all created in-house. I just think, you know, this is awesome. And it has a little bit of information about their quality control down in here. Everything goes through at least 9 pairs of hands, as you know, it's going through the process and checked every time. But for me, you know, the modularity and the fact that we have traceable 14 karat gold, so this traceable 14 karat gold, it's also considered certified green gold. And that is something that's sourced from conflict-free regions. So we're looking at a mining process that is intended to harm no one. So that is the purpose there. And you're getting high quality, you know, you've got ethics there. We've got these sustainably grown diamonds that are still real diamonds. So, you know, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between a real diamond grown in the earth versus one created in the lab. You know, under the microscope, they are going to be the same. And we have transparent pricing. So, you know, there are no crazy markups or anything like that with this jewelry. You're getting high quality, but you're paying fair prices, and you've got all of those environmental benefits from the sustainability and the green mining and so forth. And you've got the modularity. So for me, I think this is just such a great brand. I absolutely love it. I'm so happy with these, and you know, I am definitely adding more to my personal collection. So I hope this has been helpful, because I know, at least for me, it's really hard for me to figure out which jewelry sometimes is truly worth the investment when you're looking at these higher price tags. And for me, Idyl is that brand. So I do hope that this helps others who are interested. And I just want to mention that there is a 2-year warranty. We've got the certificate of authenticity, and they have free shipping and returns. So if you purchase it and you don't think it's quite right for you, you can return it without any questions. So no questions asked to return something. And I just think that this brand is very fair-minded, and I'm very happy with the Idyl jewelry. So definitely stay tuned to see more from this brand on my channel, because this is one that I'm in love with, and I know I'm definitely going to be adding more pieces personally to my collection. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Dior items we used today. So might as well start with these since I already have these swatched, but this is the matte taupe Dior show liner. And this is going to be the Dior Rouge Forever in, this is Rose Blues, which is number 670, followed by the Makeup by Mario lip pencil in Pink Peony, I believe it was. Yes, Pink Peony. So we've got those, but let's start back at the beginning at everything that we used. As I mentioned, the primer is discontinued. I really hope they bring this back, though. It is a fantastic moisturizing primer. Then we took a look at the Dior Forever Star Filter, which I think is great as a highlighter on its own, or as something, you know, as a base. I like to put this on underneath my foundation personally, but you could use it on top. And sometimes I'll do that to just add a little bit of a highlight. You can see that just added a touch there without, you know what, let's add a little bit to the side then to even it out. But just using the tiniest bit can really make a big difference. So I love how the Star Filter will sink into your skin. You still have that pearly radiance on your skin without any actual glitter chunks, and it will set and stay. So I personally really like that. And then we took a look at the contour stick in light, and I love this new packaging for these, this ovoid packaging, because it does kind of click when you make a turn here, and I just really like that. So this is the contour. So it is a cool contour, but it's still kind of on the warmer side. I think it's more of a neutral contour. So, I mean, contour is supposed to be cool. So if you're looking in that realm of contour shades, this one's fairly neutral. You could go more gray and get something even cooler. Then the foundation, similar formula. This feels slightly creamier on the skin than the contour does. The contour feels a little bit drier, whereas this is gonna feel a little bit more dewy, and it gives you more of a satin finish. This is shade 0N. And I mentioned the Westman Atelier, which is, you know, the stick concealer that I typically go for. I wear shade N, so I just wanted to show you how those compare. You can see that the 0N from Dior is going to be a little bit lighter and a little more ivory. So you can see that the Westman Atelier is actually a little bit warmer. Is that focusing? Then we went in with the highlighter side of Dior Amour. And, you know, giving it another shot, I do like it as a base to something else. It doesn't really show up too much on its own. So if you want to go for a light, barely there makeup, you know, I think it's a good option for that. However, you're not going to get a ton of purple color. It's going to be just a little bit more of a sheen. And then we used the coral shade here from Dior Riviera. So this is also going to be a light blush shade, but we've got those kind of popped together on the cheeks. I think it gives a nice light look. And I have to say that the purple formula here, the lavender formula, this so far, no hard pan or anything. So I'm happy with that, much better than other purple blushes that we've seen, like the Dior Backstage one. Then we went in with the singles. So this one here is Rose Tulle, which is a metallic, and I personally really love their singles. You can see this is going to be a rose gold. It's fairly warm. It's almost like a coppery rose. And then we have the beige Mitza, which is a warm taupe, but still a little bit more brown than a true taupe. So after that, we use the new Dior Show liner in matte taupe. And I have to say, I really like these over the previous formula because the previous formula would get dry and crumble pretty much immediately. I had even bought some new ones that were already like in terrible shape in the past. But these new ones, I mean, it's been months now. They're still creamy. They're easy to use. They're easy to blend out, and they truly set down. So this one here is one of my favorites. It's called matte taupe, but it's really more of an eggplant purple. And then my favorite Dior lipstick is the Rouge Forever in 670 Rose Blues. So let me know what your favorites are from Dior, things that you've really been enjoying. And I hope this has helped inspire you to kind of pick up something that you haven't used in a while and try it out. And again, thank you so much to Idyl because I'm so enthusiastic about this brand. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you very soon.